Have you ever come across something that makes you stop and think, wait, that's not possible, right? Well, history is full of mysterious and inexplicable artifacts that defy the very laws of science and engineering. A hammer sealed in ancient rock, a map showing Antarctica before it was covered in ice, a 2,000-year-old mechanical device more advanced than it should be. These relics don't just challenge our understanding of the past. They raise questions about what we truly know about our genius ancestors. With that in mind, here are 15 ancient relics that shouldn't exist but do. And trust us, they're much more otherworldly than China's artificial sun, and even more perplexing than the mystery of the Devil Triangle. Ready to have your mind blown? Well, let's start off with number 15. The Ubaid lizard figurines. Our first stop takes us to ancient Iraq, where a set of strange humanoid figurines with reptilian features were discovered. We mean, just look at that creepy thing. These figurines were found in the ruins of the Ubaid culture, one of the earliest civilizations in Mesopotamia, dating back over 7,000 years. At first glance, these figures appear to be nothing more than simple artistic representations of humanoid creatures. But upon closer inspection, the figurines seem to depict beings with lizard-like heads and reptilian characteristics. The most baffling part? The Ubaid culture had no recorded contact with reptiles of that size or significance in their environment. So why would they create such figures? Were these relics a reflection of their belief systems, or could they be symbolic of an ancient encounter with extraterrestrial beings? Some theorists suggest that these figures might represent an actual interaction with beings from another world. Number 14. The Lake Winnipesaukee Mystery Stone. Next, let's take a journey to New Hampshire, where an artifact has left archaeologists scratching their heads. And if you can't believe it, just Google it and you'll know why. In the late 19th century, a mysterious carved stone was discovered buried in the ground at Lake Winnipesaukee. The stone's origin, purpose, and methods used to carve it are completely unknown. What's particularly puzzling about this artifact is that its intricate carvings do not resemble anything from the indigenous cultures of the region. This leaves us with the chilling possibility that it predates the Native American civilizations who lived in the area, raising the possibility of a lost civilization that existed long before recorded history. Some researchers have even suggested that the stone might have been left by ancient explorers, possibly from Europe or even beyond. Number 13. The Ica Stones. Now let's head south to Peru, where a collection of carved stones has ignited heated debates for decades. Known as the Ica stones, these artifacts feature depictions of dinosaurs, some of which are extinct, and even intricate illustrations of medical procedures, including brain surgery. The most baffling aspect of these stones is the question of how the ancient Peruvian civilization could have known about dinosaurs, which had been extinct for millions of years, or about medical techniques that weren't rediscovered until modern times. These stones have confounded archaeologists and paleontologists alike. Were these carvings an elaborate hoax? Or do they represent a lost knowledge of prehistoric creatures and advanced medical practices? Some theorists suggest that the Ica stones could represent an ancient civilization that had access to knowledge we've long forgotten or even lost. Could these be ancient records of a people who coexisted with dinosaurs? Number 12. The Saqqara bird. Next, we venture into ancient Egypt, where a small wooden artifact has caused quite a stir. The Saqqara bird, discovered in a tomb near Cairo, is a 2,000-year-old object that has the unmistakable shape of an airplane. At least that's what it looks like when you examine its wings and body. Originally thought to be a religious symbol or even a child's toy, researchers soon realized that the Saqqara bird had aerodynamic properties that resemble modern gliders. When a replica of the bird was constructed, it glided effortlessly through the air, suggesting that the ancient Egyptians had some knowledge of aerodynamics, far ahead of their time. This discovery has led to some fascinating questions. Could the ancient Egyptians have been experimenting with flight? Could they have had some form of primitive aircraft technology, or were they simply more advanced than we give them credit for? Number 11. The Piri Reis map. Well, we bet you're all familiar with this one, and we've talked a lot about it, and we just say, it's amazing. One of the most famous and baffling artifacts in the world is the Piri Reis map. Created by the Ottoman admiral Piri Reis in 1513, this ancient map is renowned for its extraordinary accuracy in depicting the coastlines of South America. But what truly makes it stand out is its depiction of Antarctica, without ice. Modern scientists argue that Antarctica has been covered by ice for millions of years, yet the Piri Reis map shows the landmass in much the same way that modern satellite imagery reveals it today. This has led to the fascinating possibility that the map was based on much older sources, possibly from a civilization long before Columbus. Number 10. The Stone Spheres of Costa Rica. In Costa Rica, hundreds of perfectly round stone spheres have been discovered scattered across the Diquís Delta. These massive stones, some weighing several tons, are a marvel of engineering, their precision almost unfathomable for the time. No one knows how the ancient people of the region created them, nor what purpose they served. The most perplexing part is that these spheres seem to have been placed deliberately, but their exact function remains a mystery. Were they used for ceremonial purposes? Were they astronomical markers? Or could they have served as early forms of technology? Despite extensive research, the true reason behind these perfect spheres remains elusive. Some believe that the spheres could have been symbols of power or status, or even tools for early navigation. Others argue that they may have been used as part of some ancient ritual or astronomical calendar. What do you think about it? Number 9. The Shroud of Turin. A piece of linen cloth bearing the image of a man, the Shroud of Turin has been one of the most debated and mysterious relics in history. Some believe that this cloth is the burial shroud of Jesus Christ, while others argue that it is a medieval creation designed to deceive. What makes the shroud so perplexing is the mysterious image of a crucified man that appears to be imprinted onto the cloth, seemingly through some supernatural process. Despite numerous attempts to analyze the shroud, including radiocarbon dating, which suggests it's a medieval forgery, there are still no definitive answers. How could such an image be so perfectly preserved on the cloth? And what does it mean for the thousands of people who consider it a sacred artifact? Number 8. The Iron Pillar of Delhi. Standing in the Qutub complex in Delhi is an iron pillar that has puzzled experts for centuries. The Iron Pillar of Delhi has remained rust-free for over 1,600 years, a feat that is nothing short of extraordinary given the harsh climate of India. What makes this even more perplexing is that it was created during the Gupta Empire, far before modern metallurgical techniques were developed. How did the ancient Indian metallurgists achieve such a feat of engineering? The iron pillar contains an alloy that resists corrosion, and despite numerous studies, the exact method used to create the pillar's resistance to rust remains a mystery. All right, guys, now let's move to number 7, the London Hammer. In the 1930s, a strange discovery was made in a remote part of the United States. A hammer encased in a chunk of rock that is estimated to be around 400 million years old. The hammer, which appears to be made of iron, should not exist in such an ancient geological context. According to conventional science, human civilization didn't emerge until about 300,000 years ago. So how could this hammer have been found in rock formations dating back to the early Paleozoic era? There are two primary theories surrounding the London Hammer. Some claim that it's a hoax, that the hammer was simply placed in the rock much later and the surrounding minerals formed around it. However, the rock's peculiar composition suggests that it could be a genuine anomaly. If this hammer truly dates back that far, then it could suggest the existence of an unknown advanced civilization, or even a civilization that predates modern humans altogether. Number 6. The Dropa stones. Deep within the mountains of China, hundreds of mysterious stone discs, known as the Dropa stones, were uncovered by a Chinese archaeological expedition in the 1930s. The stones are intricately carved with symbols that resemble a language, and some believe they tell the story of a race of beings called the Dropa, who arrived on Earth from the stars some 12,000 years ago. According to local legend, these sky people crash-landed in the mountains, and their message was etched into the stones for future generations to decipher. Mainstream scholars dismiss these stones as folklore or misinterpretation, but the mystery remains. Could the Dropa stones be proof of an extraterrestrial visit? Or perhaps evidence of an ancient civilization with knowledge far beyond its time? The inscriptions on the stones are still undeciphered, leaving open the possibility that they may contain an important ancient message. Number 5. The Voynich manuscript. The Voynich manuscript is often referred to as one of the most baffling books ever discovered. This 240-page tome, written in an unknown language and filled with bizarre, unidentifiable illustrations, has stumped scholars, linguists, and cryptographers for over 600 years. The manuscript was discovered in 1912 by a rare book dealer, and since then, experts have tried and failed to decipher its contents. While some claim it's an elaborate hoax, others believe it might contain medical, alchemical, or astronomical knowledge, perhaps from a long-forgotten civilization. What truly makes the Voynich manuscript so perplexing is the fact that no one has been able to crack its code. Despite the use of advanced cryptographic algorithms and even artificial intelligence, the text remains utterly unintelligible. Number 4. The Nazca lines. When you fly over the desert of southern Peru, you'll encounter one of the most extraordinary mysteries in the world, the Nazca lines. These vast geoglyphs, etched into the Earth's surface, depict a variety of animals, plants, and geometric shapes, and they can only truly be appreciated from the air. The lines, some of which stretch for miles, are so intricate and precise that they have led to endless speculation about their purpose. Were they created for the gods, as some believe, or were they a form of communication meant to be seen from above? Some researchers have suggested that the Nazca people were trying to signal extraterrestrial beings, while others propose that they served as astronomical markers or ceremonial pathways. What's most puzzling is that the people who created the Nazca lines didn't have the means to view their creations from the sky, making it difficult to understand why they would go to such effort. Number 3. The Antikythera mechanism. Unearthed from a shipwreck off the coast of the Greek island Antikythera in 1901, the Antikythera mechanism is often referred to as the world's first analog computer. Dating back to around 100 BCE, this intricate device consists of a series of gears and dials that seem to map the movements of the stars and planets. The sophistication of the mechanism has baffled scientists, as it is far more advanced than any other known device from the ancient world. In fact, the technology used in the Antikythera mechanism wasn't seen again until the development of similar astronomical clocks in medieval Europe. How did the ancient Greeks create such a complex device? Was it the product of a lost technological tradition, or was it the result of superior knowledge passed down from a previous civilization? Some believe the mechanism is evidence of a much older, more advanced society, possibly even one that had contact with other cultures around the world. Number 2. The crystal skulls. The crystal skulls are among the most iconic and mysterious relics ever discovered. These perfectly carved quartz skulls, which have been found in various locations across Central America, are attributed to ancient Mesoamerican cultures like the Maya and Aztecs. What makes them so extraordinary is that despite being made from solid crystal, the skulls show no evidence of tool marks, something that modern technology struggles to replicate. Even more mysterious is the fact that these skulls seem to have a mystical aura, with some people claiming that they possess powers beyond our understanding. What raises the most questions about the crystal skulls is how they were created. No known technology in ancient Mesoamerica could have produced such intricate, flawless carvings, leading some to wonder if they were crafted by an advanced civilization or possibly even extraterrestrials. Number 1, the most mind-blowing relic, the Baghdad Battery. The Baghdad Battery is one of the most puzzling and perplexing relics ever discovered. Found in Iraq in the 1930s, this ancient artifact consists of a clay jar with a copper cylinder and an iron rod inside. When tested with an acidic liquid such as vinegar, the jar produces a small electric current. While this might not be enough to power modern electronics, it suggests that the ancient Babylonians, or whoever made the battery, had some understanding of electricity. The question remains, if the ancient world could create such a device, why didn't they leave behind more examples of electrical technology? Some speculate that the Baghdad battery was used for electroplating, a process of coating objects with a layer of metal, while others suggest it could have been a form of primitive battery, possibly for medical or religious purposes. What's most intriguing is that we have no other evidence of electricity being used in the ancient world, leading to the tantalizing possibility that we've lost an entire chapter of human history. If you've enjoyed this video, be sure to like, share, and subscribe. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you soon in the next one. And remember, the world is pretty massive, so never stop exploring it.